everyone, it's Missy, and today I'm going to start a new pattern. This is one that I told you guys that I was going to make a long time ago, but it's the My Dolls Easter Frock, and this is another free pattern from Red Heart Yarn. It's an Easter dress with an Easter basket and eggs and the cute bunny ears for an 18-inch doll. And I am not going to start out with the dress. I usually do, but I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do that color-wise. I'm not exactly thrilled by the color combination that the pattern shows, but yet I don't want to deviate too far from the pattern for the sake of you guys learning how to do this. So I'm still trying to figure that out. So instead of starting with the dress part, I'm actually going to start with the bunny ears because I think they are so cute. And you can have your doll wear these with different outfits for the Easter season. To make the doll ears, you're going to want to have medium weight or worsted weight yarn. So I have white and pink. And again, you guys can use any color combination that you want. You want to have a pair of scissors, and you also want to have a button in the color that you're making your headband. And if you guys can see, Biscuit is joining me today. For those of you who don't know, Biscuit's actually not my dog. She's registered in my dad's name, and they're away on a trip, so she is spending a lot of time with me, simply because I think she's really lonely and she misses her dad so much. Yes, you do. So she came up here as soon as I started talking in the video camera. So if you see her nose in the way, you guys will know why. But anyway, so make sure that the color of the button's the one that's going to match the headband, and for me this is going to be the white yarn. And then the pink is going to be the inside of the ears, as you can see on the picture I have with my doll at the beginning of the video. And then you want to use an F crochet hook or the size needed to obtain the correct gauge. The gauge in this pattern is 16 stitches equals 4 inches and 20 rows equals 4 inches in single crochet. So you can check your gauge first before you get started on the pattern. But what I am going to do is I'm going to start with the white yarn first. I'm going to move this stuff off to the side and find my tail. There we go. The first thing we're going to do is make a slip knot. Just like that. Once you got your slip knot made, you can chain 51 stitches. So to do a chain, all you do is you yarn over and pull your yarn through the hook. So I got 2 done. So as soon as you have your 51 chains made, you're ready to start row 1. And row 1 is going to be the right side of your project. And how you're going to do that is you're going to single crochet in the second chain from the hook. So we have the first chain here, second chain here. You're just going to insert your hook through the second chain, yarn over, pull up a loop, so there's 2 loops on your hook, yarn over again and pull through those 2 loops, and you got your first single crochet. So all I'm going to do is single crochet in each remaining chain down the row. And so by the time you have reached the end of the row, you'll have a total of 50 single crochet stitches. Okay, so when you have your 50 single crochets, it's going to look like this. As you can see, we're making the length of the headband, and it will actually attach at the end with the button like so to fit around your doll's head. But we're not quite done yet. Rows 2 through 4 are going to be the same. So all you do is you chain 1, you turn your work, and you're going to single crochet in each stitch down the row. So you'll end up having a total of 50 single crochets in each row for rows 2 through 4. And I will come back at the end of row 4 to show you how to do the last row, which is row 5. Okay, so I have my 4 rows done. And right now I have the wrong side facing me, but you can see you got this nice thick band, and we're going to start row 5, which is our last row. So I'm going to turn my work, and I'm going to chain 1. Same concept, I'm going to single crochet in each stitch down the row, and then when I get to the end of row 5, I'm going to show you how to make the button loop before we fasten off our yarn. So I'm going to just complete my 50 single crochets and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so I just finished my 50 stitches of row 5, and if you remember, this is our right side of our project. So I know it's kind of long, so there you go, now you can kind of see it. But to finish off the row, we're going to chain 5. And then we're going to slip stitch in the first single crochet of row 1. So we're just wrapping our yarn kind of around. We're going right into the first single crochet, row 1, doing our slip stitch, and there we have our button loop. So as you can see, we'll be sewing our button on the other end with a needle and thread. So I'll just come around like so. So we got our headband completed. The last thing I have to do is just fasten off my yarn. So I'm just going to cut a tail, and then I am going to yarn over and pull my yarn this time all the way through the loop. Now I'm fastened off. I can weave in my ends, and I have finished the headband portion of our bunny ears. So to make a bunny ear, you're going to make 2 of the same pattern. To make a bunny ear, we are going to start off with the pink thread because we're going to make the inside of the bunny ear first. To do that, I'm going to make a slip knot. And then the directions say to chain 13. I found doing this pattern that my count didn't end up quite right, so I'm going to actually chain 14 stitches. Once I have my 14 chains completed, I'm going to start row 1, and this is going to be the right side of our project. And how we're going to do that is we're going to double crochet in the 4th chain from our hook. So we're just going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4, and just double crochet right into that stitch. And then the directions say that we need to double crochet in the next 9 chain stitches. Okay, so I've completed my 9 double crochet stitches, and I have 1 chain stitch left, and what I want to do now is double crochet in that stitch a total of 5 times. So when I'm doing this, I'm actually kind of going to be starting to turn or rotate my work around like it's a corner. So that was 1, 2, it's kind of hard getting all my stitches in there, but as long as you make it through the same hole, you should be okay. So my 3rd one, it's kind of like rotating, so it's now parallel to my chain row. And then I'm going to be working the other side. So the right side of my work is still facing me. I'll do my last double crochet stitch for a total of 5. There we go. So now we're going to be working in the unworked chains along this end, and we will be skipping the first chain stitch, and then the pattern says to complete 10 double crochets in the rest of the chains. So what you can do is you can look at your other stitches, kind of mirror up with them. So I'm going to skip this next one. I'm going to work a double crochet here. And I'm working over my tail as I go so I don't have to weave in my ends. At the end of my project, I'm kind of weaving them in as I go. Okay, so once you have your 10 double crochets made, your ear is gonna look like this, and the inner part of the ear I should say, and I'm ready to fasten off, so I'm just gonna cut a tail, yarn over, pull the yarn through, and like I said, I wove in this one so I can actually take my scissors and cut that off, and then I still have to weave in this tail, but that's the inside of the ear. And now we're ready to go, we're done with the pink yarn and we can go to the white yarn and create the outside, the actual ear part of it. So I'm just going to set this off to the side and then grab the white yarn. With the white yarn I'm going to make a slip knot. And we're actually going to repeat the pattern that I did for the inner part of the ear with the pink yarn. And as before, instead of chaining 13 like the written instructions state, I'm going to start by chaining 14 stitches. And then I'm going to double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. And then I'm going to double crochet in each of the next 9 chain stitches. Once you've completed your 9 double crochet stitches, you should have 1 chain remaining at the end here, and that's where we're going to double crochet 5 times. And as we are double crocheting these 5 stitches, we will slowly be rotating our work. So now we're on the other side of our foundation chain, and we are going to double crochet in the opposite sides of the chain. So we're going to skip this first chain where we started, and then I'm going to double crochet in the next 10 chains. So that chain where we just double crocheted 5, we're done with that one. So we're just going to go right into the next one and double crochet. And I'm going to do that all the way across. And it might be a little tricky to see, but your hook should be able to find the hole to make the double crochet stitch. It should be right on top of the one stitch. You can see I just made a mistake because the stitch is splitting there. I didn't put it in the right spot. There we go. It takes practice, but as long as you get your stitches evenly spaced down the row, you should be just fine. Once you have finished your 10 double crochet stitches, do not fasten off like we did for the inner ear. We instead are going to take the inner ear that we had made before, and we're going to put the wrong sides together of both ears, just like that. And then I'm just going to turn my work, and we are going to crochet these 2 pieces together into one ear. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 1 because I'm turning my work, and now I'm going to single crochet in the first 4 double crochets. So I am going to insert my hook through both sets, just like that. So both of the pieces are on my hook. Yarn over and pull through all those pieces. So there's 2 loops on my hook, and then I'm going to finish my single crochet. So I'm going to do that 3 more times. And your stitches should just line up perfectly because we use the same pattern to make both the back and the inner ear. Okay, once you completed those 4 single crochet stitches, we are going to complete half double crochets in the next 4 stitches. Same concept, we're working through both pieces of our work. We're also slowly increasing the size of the ear. Okay, so we got those 4 completed. Now we're going to complete 4 double crochet stitches. So go into the next stitch. We're going to do a double crochet, next stitch. So that's 2. Three, and then the final one should bring us pretty much to the top of our ear. There we go. So now, on the very tip of the ear, we're going to complete 2 double crochet stitches in the same spot. I have to make sure I'm going through all the layers. Whoops. And we're again slowly rotating our work. Alright, once you get those 2 completed, we're going to chain 3. And this is going to create that point of the bunny ear. So we're going to slip stitch in the second chain from our hook. So we slip stitch in the second chain, and now we're going to complete 2 more double crochet stitches in the top of the ear. Now the written instructions didn't say to do that, but I know from previous projects you want to create a mirror image. So, and this will get us our nice point at the top of the ear. If you skip those next 2, you get a weird thing going on, like it's a little crooked ears or a disformed ear. So we've completed 2 double crochets, chain 3, we slip stitched in the second chain, and then we completed 2 more double crochets all in that one top stitch of both layers. So you can kind of see what the back looks like. And now we're going to double crochet in the next 4 double crochets. Making sure again to go through all the layers. In the next 4 stitches, we're going to half double crochet. And in the last 4 stitches, we are going to single crochet. So now our bunny ear is complete. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fasten off, but I want to leave a long tail because we're going to sew this to the headband. So I'm just going to fasten off like that. Now this white tail that you see, I wove in my ends by crocheting over them, so I'm just going to cut that off. But you want to make sure that you weave in any ends that you have except for this long tail for sewing. You want to make a second ear just like you did with the first ear, and then you want to take your headband And what you're going to do is you can place the headband on the doll for the button placement. You can see I already sewed my button on. And just to make sure that it remains tight around your doll's head so that way it will stay on, the bunny ears will stay on. And I used, it said in the instructions to use a 3/4 button, but I just used a button that fit through the button loop that I had in a miscellaneous button bucket that I own. And then also you want to sew the ears on the headband. So if you want, you could put this on your doll's head and then kind of gauge where to put the ears. Otherwise, you can just find the middle of the headband by just folding it in half, like that. And then you can just take the ear and kind of place it and just kind of leave like about 1 inch or 1/2 inch space from the very end, so when you fold it open, the ears will be like about 1 inch apart in the center. And how you're going to sew it is you're just going to take a tapestry needle. A tapestry needle is a very, I had a question about this. It's a really big needle that has a nice eye in it for yarn and a very blunt point so you don't split your yarn. So you just take that and then you just sew the ear right onto the right side of your headband, the side that you want facing out, and then you just take and you can just whip stitch the ear right on there. So just basic sewing, and then just make sure that you have the ear folded upward so it sticks out. But once you have the ear sewn on, you are finished with the headband. And now you have perfect set of bunny ears for your doll for Easter. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. Otherwise, thanks for watching and stay tuned as we complete the rest of the doll frock, which I believe next I'll be completing the Easter basket with the Easter eggs. So everyone have a great day. Bye.